Go away. You don't have sepsis. No, you don't. You do this.
You got a lot of noise over there, so I'm gonna mute you real quick.
I'll move myself.
What's up, everybody? This is once again we're having another event, another meeting. Today is about religion. Religion. I know it's a big deal. So, there might be some sensitive people in here. You better get unsensitive because we're going to talk about what we've had in our experiences and how we feel about religion, period. You know what I mean? Again, my name's Aaron Redmond. This is Aaron Redmond's live Zoom YouTube event. And I got my friend Rob here with me. But before we get to Rob, how about I just talk to you a little bit about my experiences with religion? Let me tell you something. When I was a child and I was introduced to religion, or at least I started to understand different things about religion, I was in love, not just with Christianity, but with the thought and the process that religion does for a society. And let me tell you something, religion is important. I used to think it wasn't important, but I feel that it's important because every society had a religion that played a big role in how they put their rules together for how they want to be, for what they believe how society should be. They wrapped it around their religion and let the religion decide, because they trusted their religious people. Religion was where the shamans were. Before Christianity, there was the shamans. They used to come out, and Christianity is a fairly new religion. You know what I'm saying? Compared to some of the older ones that's been around. So I'm just going to talk about mine. And I can remember the day I fell in love with my religion, Christianity. I was a little boy, and we were having prayer service or something, and somewhere along the line, I realized that this made me feel special. I totally felt special just because I believed that God loved me. You know what I'm saying? I could almost feel the presence of the Lord around me as a child. You know what I mean? And I felt so excited and so happy for it. And I believed in Jesus. I believe in God. I tell you, I believe in a lot of things that they taught me. And as I grew up, I realized that it was fairy tale. A lot of people was teaching me fairy tale crap. A lot of people was teaching me their opinion. A lot of people was teaching me whatever they wanted me to learn that made them feel comfortable about the society that we had. And as I grew up and got rid of the fairy tale of religion I was taught, I started to, get deeper into the philosophy of the religion and to what the truth of the religion was trying to teach, and I'm still learning. But let me tell you, once I started looking myself, I realized how many lies I was told, you know what I'm saying? And I realized how much people really weren't that educated about the religion they actually worship, you know what I mean? And it made me read a lot. I believe that if you don't read the Bible, if you're just going from scripture to scripture to scripture to prove something, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. If you are going from chapter to chapter, you're closer to the truth. If you're actually reading the whole chapters and getting the whole story, learning the history, learning the slang, because they talked in slang back then too, you have to learn what they were really talking about in order for you to really understand what these different sayings were. And that's something that they really didn't teach when I was a kid. But as I grew up, I feel that they should have been teaching us the truth about the Bible and what things meant in the history and the because it's better. It's better than a fairy tale. You know what I'm saying? It's way better than a fairy tale. You know, all this, you got to do this and you got to do that. That's all well and fine. But once you read and find out why they were doing, that's why the society is the way it is now, because a lot of these religious leaders ruin Christianity. You know what I'm saying? They ruin it. They made it a money thing. You know, it's about how much money you can get. And it's a shame. But for me, I love religion. I still love God. I still believe in Jesus and all those things. You know, I just don't do it the same way I did. I don't believe it the way a lot of other people believe it. You know what I'm saying? I guess you gotta really learn yourself about your faith and trust those who are teaching you, but don't just trust them whole. Make them prove it. Make them show you. Make them tell you the history of what they're talking about and where they're pointing to and what was going on at the time. Don't let them just say, oh, well, this means that just because it sounds like it means that. It doesn't always mean what it says in our time. You have to read and find out what they were talking about. You know what I mean? Just like listen halfway through a conversation. If you only know a part of the conversation, you don't know the whole truth. All you know is part of the conversation. And if you run on that, you're a fool because you don't know what you're talking about. I've learned that you have to do your own march when it comes to like faith, love, and understanding of the Bible, and faith and love and understanding of mankind. You have to like kind of do more than just accept what people say. Because what people say, they say with their own agenda and their own understanding. You got to find your own understanding yourself, you know, by coming around people and learning, you know what I mean? And picking up your Bible or whatever religious book that you guys go by and learn, you know what I mean? So personally, I have nothing against anybody else's religion because let's face it, it's all about belief. It's not about fact. It's about belief. You believe these are facts. There's a difference between things being a fact and there's a difference between things being a belief. So, you know, I can't prove the things in the Bible to be true. So it's a belief, you know? So I'm gonna let some other people talk because for real, I can go forever. But there's other people in here, you know, and they want to, I'm sure they have a whole lot to talk about religion. You don't have to talk about you can talk about what you do, don't like, love, don't love, you know what I mean? And my man Rob is over here, so I'm going to let Rob start it off. You know, I'm grateful for you guys coming. Thanks, Andre and Don showing up. Go ahead, Rob.
First of all, what's up, everybody?
What's up, man?
So check it out. You said you could go on for hours. I could go on all night. I'm gonna keep it real. I am a religious brother. I grew up in the church, 52nd in Kershaw, Master Street, since a baby. My whole aunts, uncles, everybody went to that church. I am not perfect. I'm not a perfect Christian. I'm not gonna come in and beat somebody over the Bible with what you should be doing because, like I said, I'm not perfect myself. Growing up, Sunday school, every Sunday before main service, I learned a lot from Sunday school because of that kind of small classroom setting with your peers and stuff like that. I married a woman who was raised Jehovah's Witness, who basically knew the Bible better than me because, I mean, Jehovah's Witness, they get their teaching in. This is that at her age of 18, she chose not to follow that path anymore. So like I said, we both know the Bible well. My lifestyle, and what I mean by my lifestyle was, you know, I pray every night, at least most nights that I can remember. I pray for people. I try to ask myself, it's like, I try to pray more for others than myself. Don't get me wrong. I have things that I definitely want out of life that I often pray for, but working in Norristown, You see a lot, Aaron noticed, we see a lot of homeless people. Um, Catching public transportation, you see a lot of homeless people. So I pray for these people, the panhandlers of the world, whatever, even the people that are trying to scheme you out of money. I pray for these people because they need help probably 10 times much more than me. Um, believe in God, believe in Jesus. Um, I don't think, coming from a strong praying family, I don't think I would be here right now. And without going into too serious of a health conversation, I was told by medical professionals in my early 20s that I wasn't going to make 25. You know what I'm saying? So 47, still here. You know what I'm saying? Um, I had two of my three kids born medical disabilities out the gate. Um, they're both doing fine, flourishing, intelligent. You know what I'm saying? So if it wasn't for my family's strong faith and the belief that God wouldn't give you anything that you couldn't handle, I would not have this sort of upbeat feeling about life right now. Because if it's all on me, I'm not capable. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. I would not be able to do the things I do every day if it wasn't for the blessings that was bestowed upon me. So have everything fell through for me? Let's face things haven't fallen through for everybody. But I feel as though the things that I call important, when it comes to marriage and family and health, would I, in a perfect world, would I be rich? Absolutely. In a perfect world, would my car not be 12 years old? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But the things that are the most important for me, family and health, those are the things I think I've been, blessed upon, because if I wouldn't have those things, I don't know where I would be at right now or what I'd be doing. So far from a, perfect Christian person myself, but I think I carried some of that same attitude, which makes me, like Aaron knows how I go into the city and volunteer and stuff all the time. I think that Christian faith helps my walk every day. It stops me from putting my hands on people who annoy me, and it's like, what kind of what would Jesus do kind of moment, like, all right, I'm gonna let this person live today because I really feel like snatching them up off the sidewalk and taking their life. So um, again, I could go on forever. I know there are, growing up in the church, some of the most hypocritical people are the people sitting right next to you in the church pew. Very opinionated. Somebody walks past them. If they don't like the way they're dressed, they talk about them. If they don't like the way they look, people talk about them. And that's crazy too, because like I said, these are the same people you worship with, who you've known half your life, and gossip inside the church. And it's amazing that I've seen that all my life. And like I said, it kind of gets you down a little bit. I've had a lot of unfortunate circumstances inside my church. I actually don't even go to. I specifically didn't name that church because I switched to another church in North Philly right now. I still have love for my original pastor, still have love for that church that still has my family members in them. But I actually attend another church right now that has some of those same church members that went to this new church. And so, like I said, I'm a find a church home no matter what, and I'm gonna worship no matter what. And I try to, raise my kids a certain way where, all right, I like you to go to church with me, but I'm not gonna force you to go to church with me, because I feel like a lot of adults, you see this more with Catholic than Christian Baptist. A lot of adults who don't attend church or don't have a strong faith anymore is the ones that were forced to do it every Sunday as a child. You go with me no matter what. Like, those are the people who, by the time they become adults and have their own decision, they're done because they remember all those traumatic times. So it's great when I can have some of the kids go with me. All right, don't go with me. You know what I'm saying? But If not, you know what, maybe next week, maybe next Sunday, maybe whenever, I give them that option instead of forcing them to dragging them down for the half-hour car ride just for them to be in attitude the entire time. So before, like I said, I see I've been on like a 6-7 minute thing, so I'll let
No,
I'll let some I'll let somebody else talk for, but like I said, I love me some Lord, and I was listening to the gospel earlier today. I don't have any gospel albums. I just, you know, pick some. What was that? Excuse me for a second. What was that person? That Hawkins.
Never would have made it.
Yeah, I have me some favorite gospel people. So anyway, yeah, like I said, that's my story.
that's what's up, man. Look, man, you know what? You said a few things that kind of, this is why this is what I like about religion, right? When you talk to other people about their faith, it kind of brings things to your faith that you kind of might have been neglecting or didn't notice, you know what I'm saying? And I can remember walking past those homeless people every day, annoyed as hell, But I was always nice to them because I know what it's like to be the homeless. I know what it's like to be sitting there stinking and wishing, not knowing which direction you're gonna go. So I know all that. So I always try to be grateful, you know what I mean? But sometimes when you go through something, your gratitude isn't so there for the next person, you know what I mean? So, when you just said that, I was like, yeah, I probably should have prayed for them a little more, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you just, I don't know, I had a few problems with some people coming in, going to the train. So it kind of took all that Jesus away from me, But now that you've said that, I'm going to think about it next time I go and get on the train and I see those people. When I'm walking outside and I see the homeless and they're getting on my nerves, but I got to, sometimes you got to just sit back a little bit and realize these people don't want to be homeless. They just want the drug. The homelessness is a result. You know what I'm saying? They just want to feel good. So for a lot of them, my way is definitely a heroin. You know what I mean? And it's insanity. A lot of them have mental problems, just like me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm glad you said that because you know what, you're gonna have me praying for some homeless folks tonight, dog. I appreciate that.
Listen,
But
real quick. So many times, the rest of you guys, you got to realize it's like, Norristown just ain't about the homeless people that you can clearly see that are, you can tell by their clothes or whatever. Norristown straight up had people that dress normal out just to gag you. And I guess I'm that dude that looks like the biggest sucker in the world. I don't know, maybe the glasses, maybe the carefree attitude, but I get approached by these people with these sob stories about how they don't have no money and how they can't get home and stuff like that. And I'm that dude that takes them to lunch or gives them money because they'll come to find out later, hey, that person lives around the corner, or hey, that person and it really hurts, you know what I'm saying? Because you thinking you doing the spiritual right thing. But you know what? And I've talked to other people. They said, you know what? Your heart is in the right place. Regardless if you find out 10 minutes later that person just gagged you, you are in the right place. And if that person chooses to get over on you, on your sympathy, then they have to answer to God. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to say about that. And guess what? Tomorrow I'm going to go out and get played again. You know what I'm saying? Somebody going to sell me a sob story. They got jumped and they can't get home from New York, and I'm gonna give them, $15 or whatever like that, and I'm gonna find out that was a scam too.
you know what I try to do with those people? I try to remember that they're not asking me because they have the money. They don't have the money. They want to do something, and me probably giving them money will probably keep them from causing someone harm. You know what I mean?
True.
That they might be $1 away from trying to rob somebody. So I don't really get too deep into what they're using it for. I feel like if you're asking and I feel like you need it, I'm just gonna give it to you. I don't care if you go right next. I don't care if the drug boy right next to me and you go and get yourself another one. You know what I mean? Because to me, I might have kept somebody from getting killed. I might have kept you and somebody from getting killed. I might have, you know what I'm saying? I might have kept some crazy situation from happening just out of an act of kindness.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So I just think of it that way. You know what I mean? You don't have to stay a sucker, but you know. But you can just do it with the act of kindness, do it in God's name, keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? And don't have to worry about it, you know. And the next time they come to you, if you feel like you just tell them, no, I'm good, you know what I mean? God bless you, keep it moving. You know what I mean? That's what I do. Yeah, but we're talking religion, man. There's two more people in the room, so I'm going to let Andre speak. Go ahead, Casual Don is always last because he's the sidekick, yo. Go ahead, Dre. Do you have anything you want to speak on religion, brother? Is Andre there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man.
All right. I say my problem with religion is the hocus pocus stuff, like you were saying, with these with these pastors and saying all this stuff that ain't true. That's why I try to tell them, no matter what religion you are, man, always read your book and always tell them to point it out to you. And if it sounds like nonsense, and most likely it is. Like, what was the thing now in Christianity that was from like some years back they started was that Jesus is God. And I'm like, dude, Jesus ain't God, bro. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm like, well, okay, where in the Bible did Jesus say he was God? Nowhere. I say he always says, I will when I go back to my Father's house, I will be at his right hand. He never says I'll be sitting in a chair. So, then we have that. You know what I mean? Then, they ask him, when is the world going to end? He said, no one in heaven, no one knows it but my Father, not even I. So how is he God if he don't even know that? So I just tell you, read your stuff. Then he had this one, the last church I was at, this crazy fool was trying to be a cult to me because he tried to say God was a mist. So I was like, God said he made us in his own image. So how is he a mist? You know what I mean? Well, you just don't know. I'm like, no, dude, like, no. I said, remember when Moses wanted to see God, he said, you can't see me because you'll surely die. He said, I will pass by you and I will put my hand over your face and walk by you and you will see my back. So how is he a mist? So I was like, man, I'm the hell up out of here. That's why I say you always got to read your Bible. Or whatever religion you need to read your stuff so these dudes don't be using you or making you think all this crazy stuff. And that's one thing, you know what I mean? And then you got the other stuff where, these bunches be robbing the people, donations, you know what I mean? And, usually on Pastor Day, people just give what they want to give. He told everybody in church they're supposed to give him $350. You know what I mean? This is his dream. All of a sudden, this was his dream that he had. I'm like, oh, this damn fool. I'm like, and you in the poorest section, like in a real poor section. I'm like, how these people trying to keep their utilities on? You talking about God told you for them to give you $350. I was like, I ain't giving this fool a god dang thing. You know what I mean? And I just like, I'm out of here. I did that mist thing. I knew I was out of here. I was like, it just gets stupid. But to me, like, when it comes to religion, I think the worst people in the world are people of religion. That, to me, that's how I feel. Because they do everything supposed to be in God's name, like the Crusades or whatever else. You know what I mean? Or these Muslims killing Muslims in front of Allah. They ain't in the Quran. All that stuff. Like, these are people with just power. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. It's just power. And that's all it is. I think if you find yourself a good church and a good pastor or a good whatever religion you are, I said, that's a good thing. But they're very hard to come by. Very hard to come by. And the people in there, like Rob was saying, talking about people going by, you know what I mean? How you dressed like that? Come here in a jeans and a white. He was wearing a shirt like this, like a t-shirt like this, Like, ain't gonna be in jeans and a shirt. I'm like, well, God said, come as you are you heavy laden? He didn't say you're supposed to come in here in no suit. I said, half you find dressed people going straight to hell anyway. I was like, they don't mean nothing. He said, come as you are, you heavy laden. And It was, and then I seen that in the church, and I was like, dude, I'm just happy you're here, man. Don't worry about these people. They were just like you once. They forgot who they were. Now that they're doing halfway decent or good, now they think they're better than you, and they're not. They still, everybody here is the same. No matter how much money you got, everybody here is the same. So, I had to tell the one person that, and then it was another person that was in there like, that mother used to sell her body. She used to sell her body. She's a prostitute, and this other mother used to do this, smoke crack, get all this stuff. You know what I mean? And say, like, look at me, I'm living all this stuff. I'm living right. I'm doing this. I'm like, well, that's the same as the parable that Jesus said, the boy, they were talking about the Pharisee was praying how good he was, and how about this sinner over here and all this stuff, saying he's a sinner. He basically like he ain't nothing. And that's when Jesus said, well, God heard the sinner's prayer, but he didn't hear the Pharisee prayer. You know what I mean? So you have all that stuff going in these religious places. And I just get to the point, I don't even go to church anymore. Like, I'm pretty much done with the church. I read my own Bible. You know what I mean? I pray. I do that. And I was tithing even still before, but I even stopped that. But I know eventually I get back to my tithing. But, but I just say, when it comes to that, you need to read your own stuff. Because these people will tell you all kinds of things that ain't nowhere is true, and have you thinking all this way, and it ain't. So it's just crazy. And I think like some people just want to be in power. Where's the, government, all this stuff? Because you notice all these self-righteous people talk about Christianity. Well, this is this and this is that. Let's say, gays, you're going straight to hell. Like, we believe that as Christians because that's the way it is. But, the big pastors, that's the only thing they preach about. I'm like, well, are you gay, dude? Are you trying to come out the closet? Like, what's up? And I'm thinking, gay is only one thing. There's cursing, there's cheating, there's sex before marriage, there's whole tons of stuff, murder. You got a whole, that ain't the only thing, you know what I mean? This is like a whole bunch of stuff, you know what I mean? So when that person just starts doing, or just the women, it's always about the women, like, or something, you know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't got time for that. That's just people with agendas to try to start a revolution or some stuff. It's just craziness. So I'm just done with churches. I'm just truly done with them, so I'll visit some, like my mom's church down in Florida, because I like that pastor and I like that church. So I'll go down there when I go see my mom. I'll go to him and see him. He's from Kenya. He used to be a Muslim, then he changed to a Christian. But his churches, I like the church because he don't have all that craziness most of the time going on. If it does, he tries to get rid of it. Sometimes it takes a while, but eventually he does take care of business. But when it comes to religion, I just hate when people try to use that as a power thing. You know what I mean? How they can try to control you, or
it as a sword. Use it as a sword against you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it really ain't about that. God always, if you're gonna be a Christian, Jesus said, talk to those who will listen. And if they don't, he's supposed to wipe your feet and walk away. He ain't supposed to be forcing nobody to do a dang thing. So, and these are the things that I get tired of, and all that kind of stuff. And, we was told all types of lies growing up about religion, like all this, like slavery, all that kind of stuff. And Jesus is white, and it tells you Jesus was, hair of wool, skin of bronze. You know what I mean? So all those lies, like you see all these blonde hair, blue eyed. No, he's none of that. Like nobody was that color from the region. So, you know what I mean? So they tell you he's skin of bronze, hair of wool. So he was either black or a dark Jew. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's the proof about it. So it's a lot of things. They just like the school board system. But when it comes to religion, that's why you gotta read your own book, no matter what religion you are. If the pastor or the deacons or whoever, synagogue, whatever it is, have them show it in the book that you're reading from. Show it to me. And if it says this, and they say, no, it ain't that, no, brother, no, sister, this is what it says. And what you got to understand is whatever religion you are, whatever book you read from, you got to read it from their time. Not today, it's from what they said from their time. Because gay today ain't the same as gay back in the 20s. Gay back in the 20s was laughter and being happy. Gay today is homosexuality. So that's why you got to read from their time what they mean from their time when they say stuff, and not from now, to really understand it too. And that's pretty much all I got to say about religion.
Okay, I was about to tell you to wrap it up, brother, because you was going. Look, religion is hard. Religion is hard because you know what I mean. You open your you're taken for a lot of us. We were taken to a place and they told us all these stories, and then we had to decide whether we believed in it, while we were also being taught about Santa Claus and how real Santa Claus was. And you know what I'm saying? We it's and they wanted us to believe in it, and they made us believe in that stuff. And then they broke us heart and told us Santa wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? And then you was like, Santa ain't real for real now. Then, it's hard. It's hard. The way they do things these days is back in the day, religion, society was based on religion. You know what I'm saying? Right. Where you live, your whole society was based off of your religion. Everybody believed in the same thing. You know what I mean? But if you were if you came from a certain place, now religion is totally. It's not.
It's commercial.
It's not tribal anymore. It used to be tribal. It's not tribal no more. So it's hard to. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to move on and let other people talk. Because there's 3 other people in the room.
Let me say one more thing, but real quick.
Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead. You said enough, but go ahead.
But I like one thing too is the commercial of the religion. Like Christmas, like Jesus wasn't born in the wintertime in December. He was actually born around August. And when the wise men came, he wasn't a baby. He was actually like 1.5 or 2. Remember, it tells you he opened up the door for them.
Oh yeah. Religion has a great mythology. Great mythology.
Yeah, so like he was actually born in the summertime, like around August, but we got this thing, Christmas, and it's pretty much this commercial, you know what I mean? And it's a joke, but it is what it is.
It's a different holiday. It's really not Christmas. What was it? The thing when all Weather's Day. I don't know. It's some winter thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's
really a pagan thing.
All
really
Saints Day.
All Saints. Okay. Yeah. So it's really not a holiday. It's just some made up holiday because the people who were pagans already had a holiday, so they changed it from whatever that holiday is to Christmas. It is what it is. But let's move on. I don't want to drop only my knowledge. We have Eric, my man Jay, on the line. You know what I'm saying? You got your Jesus shirt on. Look, you got to start talking because you came to represent.
No, it's crazy. I just happened to have the shirt on. That's crazy though. But for me, like religion again is like one of those subjects that you could talk about for eternity, years and years. It's just one of those things that never stop. My first realization was I had met this bartender. I think I want to say Lou and Choose, but someplace really, really, really pretty. Her and I were talking. She met me for lunch when I used to work on 40th and Market. And as I kissed her, walk away from her, she says to me, "Did you pick your religion or did your religion pick you?" And I was like, yo, that's the dumbest question I heard. And then I walked away 2 or 3 steps and realized that was one of the most profound questions I have ever heard. Because all my life, my religion was picked for me. We went to the mill. It was non-denominational, but we learned everything they taught us. When I came out of the mill, I went to my mom's church. So, my family church. So that's all I knew. So reality was my religion was picked for me. So it was crazy because she actually went on to date Kevin Hart. So I was kind of a little sad about that, but whatever. But yeah, so that's when I started looking into other religions, going to different types of churches and stuff like that. And I know you guys might have heard these stories before, but I had a pastor of my church I used to go to. He used to live out his fantasies through me, which is really, really weird. After church, he would meet up with me, ask me who I was sleeping with inside the church. Tell me more. And then when he found out I was talking to somebody who had me in the office, it was really really weird. Really, really weird. He would literally point people out in the congregation, be like, yo, you need to talk to her. And then once I do, he would ask me about it. So it took me a while to wake up and just realize exactly what he was doing. Like I was saying, he was a pastor, so he couldn't really do too much. So he would live his little sexual fantasies through me talking to him. So I had to leave. Like I had to go. That was too much for me. But honestly, I think my biggest awakening with religion is I've been doing a lot more reading. And actually, I was kind of scared because there's a lot of facts and stuff that we don't know that has been like revealed to us lately. Like for me, the fact that Jesus Christ is only mentioned in the Bible, like he's not in any kind of other history books at all, even by the Jews. I mean, when I found that out, I'm like, yo, wait a minute, like really? Like no other history books, no other person had wrote about him other than this in the Bible. That's kind of scary. Especially with all the gaps. So, he was 13 when he first came out and disappeared. Then he was 30 when he first, when he came back. Like there's nothing in history about that time before, of course, the Virgin Mary, all that stuff. By scholars, people who, what do you call it, theologians or something. And that to me is really weird. That's odd to me. And that kind of scares me a lot. Also, what I've been learning about Christianity is that Christianity was really forced on a lot of people. Like it wasn't chosen for them. It's not what they chose to be. It was really forced. And they went to wars over it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's just like it's scary, but it's awakening. So kind of
it's not the only. Don't get me wrong, but most religions are like that. Christianity is not exclusive to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there are books that talk about Jesus when he was growing up, but they took him out of the Bible. They took him out. So just to let you know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
he's talking about scholars outside of Christianity. Like, you go to a judge. He saw a king. How come that's not documented? He saw this. How come that's not documented by the people who saw him outside of Christianity? That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
But and the fact that there were other people that were doing exactly what Jesus Christ was doing at the same time, as far as meeting in groups, doing their readings and stuff like that. It's just the fact that Jesus Christ was actually singled out, but only singled out in the Bible. You know what I mean? So, it's like I said, it's awakening. I mean, it just kind of makes you think about some other stuff. But like I was saying, I could talk about religion for years and years, but that's my little take for it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? I went through the same thing. I believe me, I'm right there with you. Your intellectual, you know what I'm saying? The intellect kind of interrupts with the belief. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I get it. I'm right there with you on that. But that's why
especially it's a Virgin. Yeah, especially with the Virgin Mary, like as a science these days, and. So it's kind of.
That's why it's a belief, Jason. This is where I go with that, man. You can't prove this stuff. You can't. There's no religion you can prove. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I wasn't there. You know what I mean? I didn't see it with my own eyes. Wasn't able to document things, and so I look at it this way: it's a belief and it's a choice. Believing in a religion is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not something you have to do. It's something you do because of what you believe in. Me and Andre, we were taught to believe in God and to believe in Jesus. When we grew up, I can speak for myself. I stopped believing in those things. You know what I mean? I stopped totally because I was like, this don't make any sense. But, I somewhere down the line, I guess I've been through so much stuff. And whenever I prayed, I got it. I wouldn't say problems were solved. I'm not going to say that. I'm saying when I prayed, I could live with myself and anything around me. You know what I'm saying? And whatever got solved, I gave to God. You know what I'm saying? And I was grateful for, because I couldn't do anything. I remember knowing that I had no power in any of this. So I'm just going to choose to believe. I'm going to choose to pray. I'm just going to choose to keep on. See, for me, like, I believe not because it's a fact. That's not why I believe. I believe because it works. I believe because it's real for me. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you that all these things exist because I don't know. But for me,
Right.
what I've been through and when I pray and the things that having God in my life does for me, that's why I believe. It has nothing to do with whether it's a fact or not. I believe it because it works and because, you know, I'm still here, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? The life I lived is a fact. You know, and the way I prayed to my Lord, and I prayed all my life, and those that, you know, I prayed, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And it did something for me. I know that's a fact. You know what I mean? So I believe in God. Now, do I know if all these things are true? I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Come on. That's just stupid. But I believe. And I'll take it to my grave because this works for me.
So and I think that's the difference between being religious and religion itself. You know, it's a big difference. And I used to kind of like mock people and laugh when people tell me, oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. But as I get older, I'm more understanding of that, you know, because of all discrepancies of all how different people believe. And like Andre said, you know, you have all these pastors out there who know the Bible inside out, but yet they're judging. You know what I mean? And again, like I was saying, I've had some very, very bad, very, very bad experiences with pastors and preachers and stuff. You know, I had a preacher who didn't know me at all and asked me if I was where I was supposed to be or something. My relationship with now, the church we were going to, the pastor said that he had a download about me and told me I wasn't good enough for my girl.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, he got a download from God. Like he got a download from God, and God told him that I wasn't good enough for her. So I mean, like I'm saying, I mean, I go on and on about pastors, preachers, religion, but like I have my beliefs. You know, I'm not saying that I'm antichrist or whatever. I'm just saying that I'm open to learning more at this point in time.
That's right.
So,
and if you're practicing a faith, you have to always be open to learn, because you learn, unlearn, and then relearn, and then learn that you didn't know what you did when you first learned. You ain't know what you did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the faith has to constantly be chased. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have you know what, the Indians, they have the people who practice Hindu, they have the saying. I remember I was walking past a dude, and he always had a picture of Lord Shiva on his desk, right? And I would go by, and I asked him. I said, "How come you always have him on your desk?" I said, "Does that do anything for you?" And you know, he said, "Well, you know, you're supposed to keep the Lord forever in your sight." He said, and having this here, you know, the way I believe it, it was just a pagan thing. You know what I'm saying? But when he said having the Lord forever in your sight, and that's the reason I have it is so I can always have the Lord on my mind in everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Because, you know, with all the arms and all that kind of stuff with these other gods, you look at that and you be like, you know, what the hell is that? It's so foreign. But when he explained it to me, I was like, okay, all right, you know. And then he explained all the little deities and all the, you know what I'm saying? He said, all those are one, they're all made of one God. You know what I'm saying? You know, God is so infinite and so beyond our understanding that we have to talk to these different gods in order to be able to reach that part of them or something like that. I said, okay, that makes sense to me. I get that, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm still, you know, I apply that to, I apply that thought I try to apply that to my own thinking because it makes sense. You know, if you keep God forever in your sight, he's always on your mind. He becomes a party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. I was like, okay, all right. If you're always searching, if you're always looking for God and whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? That means that you'll always be a part. You know what I'm saying? You always have them in your mind, you know. So I got it. See, I don't down other religions because you can learn things about your own faith sometimes. You know what I mean? By not being such a judge and hater of everyone else. You know. So I try to keep my mind open. I know I'm a Christian. That'll never change. But I know for sure that, you know what, I love all the people that I meet. So I try to do that. You know, God said, love everybody. Jesus said, love everybody. So I said, okay, I'll do that. You know what I mean? I'll do that because I can't love everybody on my own. So, you know,
I mean, for me, I think the most, out of everything, the most comfortable thing I'm with right now is how the Native Americans used to think and their beliefs. For me personally, I think that was aligns with me.
I'm be real honest with you. I've been thinking about like doing some research on some of the old religions, African religions that we used to like, you know, do before we came over here. I just want to know. I want to know what we were doing before I got here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before the big lie. Before the big lie. You know what I'm saying? Before they changed the words and the names of our gods and stuff. Before they, you know what I'm saying? Before they, you know, use the Bible to justify slavery and use the Bible they told us Jesus was white for centuries, well, millenniums. You know what I'm saying? And we're over here talking about, hold on, and the Bible doesn't say he's white. Why are we still talking about we just learning like how much we like as a society we've been lied to for so much. And I remember in the Bible, right, where God was talking to the Israelites. Well, and I forget if he was talking to the Israelites or Moses, but he was saying that you will not know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because of your own ways and the things you do, you will not know who you are. You know what I'm saying? He said, your religion, your faith, everything will be taken from you. Everything. You will be taking on other people's religions and other people's names. You know, he said that to them. And that's what happened to us. You know what I'm saying? We were taken from our land and we're under someone else's call. We aren't even doing our own faith from our own ancestral faith. You know what I mean? And I think about that sometimes. So I'm like, wouldn't it be good if I just learned a little bit more about who I am and where I come from, rather than just saying, oh, it's not Christian, so you shouldn't even do it. I get it. I'm not really going to go in there and be all like that, but I just feel like you really, really need to explore your own faith and who you are to truly be, you know, who you really want to be in this life. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to move on. I'm sorry, I'm taking up so much time. We got to give my man, the youngest in the room, he got to get his chat on. Yo, young boy. Lindell, what's up, bro?
Come on, man.
Yes.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Don?
Yes, what's up, man?
Right. What's up with y'all?
Yo, so talk to me, man. Talk to me about your views, focus, experiences on religion, whatever you want to talk about, bro.
Well, from I know about religion, it all spread out differently. Like for Islam, it was taught one way. It was taught the correct way until like the second or maybe third disciples from Muhammad, when they died and everybody went their separate ways, it was taught differently. So on and so forth. So that goes on forever. Like I may know something, I may do things different from another Muslim. Then you have the cults that's inside the religion, which is called they call themselves Sunafi. They kind of like the nation of Islam. They think they're better than everybody. That they're the chosen ones, and we're not the chosen ones, stuff like that, so on and so forth. That little bullshit. But for me, that was my choice. Finally, when I made my choice to become a Muslim, which I became happier. Because when I was a Christian, I was not a happy person. I was an angry person. Looking at the passages that has the Rolexes, the BMWs, and they doing like 4 or 5, 6, 7 times. It's like, come on now. Then you got the people that's been there praising the Lord, but the next day they right back out there on the streets, holding, talking to other people, selling drugs. You know, the same old dumb shit. And going to different churches, I see that constantly, especially the church when I went to, it was what's the name, Eon Baptist Church, how they got their own police or their own security, vending machine, TV, big, all this, they're doing like 10, 20 times. I was like, yeah, I can't be doing this. No, this is bullshit to me. So when I went to 26th and Tasker, that's when I was getting into it more because I started, looking at the pastor and he was starting making sense about stop blaming the devil for your actions. You made the choice, he didn't. So you can't blame him for you. So I started, and I was like, no, I'm gonna start getting into it. He started speaking some type of facts. Looking at everybody there, and when the person who I needed help with, he turned his back on me because I ended up having my daughter out of wedlock. That's when I was like, man, fuck this shit, I'm out. It's hypocrites in this motherfucker too. I'm done. So when I finally turned in 2018, it was due to a Muslim, but that was like a way for me to get into it. And when I finally got into it, I stayed into it. Going on 3 years now. So been married for 2 years.
Okay.
So
that's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh damn. Yeah, it's been
And Nikki's birthday's coming up next week, so yeah.
Happy birthday, Nikki.
But she's upstairs, she's doing her little training. I got the earpiece in, so she don't hear me.
Oh, okay.
Well, she's supposed to be on, but she's doing her little training, so.
It
is what it is. But for me, religion helped me out. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. It is what it is. But for my religion, it actually helped me out. And I could understand some of the stuff that they was going that says about the rules of the man and the lady and how the messenger should stay the messenger. Like when I was reading the Bible, it said Jesus said he's not God, he's just the messenger and the servant. Later on, you start praising him as God. I never got that concept. If he told you he's not God, he's the messenger. Don't praise him as because our God is a jealous God. Even God said, I'm a jealous God. No one is above me, equal, or should be worship other than me. But that ain't not happening. And inside the Quran, pretty much everything that Jesus did is dated. Like whatever that he did, that's what he did. We do believe in whatever that Jesus did because he is the messenger and he was the only one that was given the coming back to life that could heal the dumb, they could heal the blind, they could heal the crippled, stuff like that. So everything that all messages did, Noah, Moses, all of them, it's inside the Quran as their messages. Just like Muhammad was the final messenger. So that helped me out. I'm still learning. So, but I'm trying to get better at it where I could anybody that want to know. For me, I always tell people before you get into a religion, learn it first, because you don't want to step in it and realize it's not for you.
True.
Learn your religion first. Like when I was at Outlet, a lot of females that said they want to become a Muslim. I was like, learn it first, because you got men that prey on new females. They tell you one thing and it really is another.
Every religion.
You Yeah. You ain't got females that do the same thing to men. So yeah, like you got men that are abusive inside Islam. There's a thing where it say a man's allowed to beat his wife, but it also then say you cannot harm your wife.
Mhm.
So since we got those two things, you gotta look at the Prophet Muhammad. He never laid a finger on none of his wives due to the fact the hit is not equal to the reason of the hit. The mafanaf, the hit has to be equal to the mafanaf. We can't do that because when we get angry, we this is already here. So we can't do that. So since he never do it, it's like, why are you doing that if he never did it? And you're not supposed to harm your wife because you're supposed to treat her with kindness. So why are you even doing that? So you got men that do those type of nut shit. I ain't supposed to be cursing, but
Yeah, I was about to say, man.
but this been me since I don't know how long, so I'm never gonna actually change. Certain stuff may change about me, but habits, there's certain habits that's not gonna change. So I rather be me and not not try to be someone else that I know that I cannot be yet or at all. So
You gotta be true to yourself, but you
but
still
that's pretty much
try.
Yeah. So
Yeah, yourself still wrong.
that's pretty much what. Yeah, but that's pretty much me on the intake of a religion. You know, some people use it as a way to control people, like Unc said and Eric, and some people use it all all for the wrong reasons. Like, but it is what it is. That's them. They gonna get judged. So we all gonna get judged. We get judged for our actions. Get judged for our opinions. Everything that we do, we gonna get judged for. So. I know I am. I know I am. So, and I'm just, it is what it is. That's how I live my life. That's when I got to that point where it is what it is. Do you and leave it all to a guy was back in 2018, I believe it was. It was a moment where I was about to stamp out on everybody. Because the house that I was living in, somebody stole my phone and deleted all my kids' photos. That right there was my last straw. I was damn so about to. Like I was, everybody was scared and nervous. Yo, I was about to go off. And I knew the person who actually did it. But I wanted him to be man enough to say that I did it so he could see his ass off. But he did. So something where I just snapped and I just calmed down. I was just like, it is what it is. I still had the picture saved inside my Google photos. I was like, it's the principle. You took my shit, you stole it, and you delete all my kids' photos. It's the principle of it. So that's when I was like, it is what it is. What happens from this day forward, it is what it is. I'm gonna do what.
Look, Tone. If you surround yourself with fools, you get a fool's life, yo. That's the way it is, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that was probably the time when you learned your lesson that, you know what, maybe I should change the way I roll a little bit.
Well, that's when I was home. That's when I lost my room and I lost the job and all that. And I had to go to the person who I thought was a friend. I found out she really wasn't. So I was like, man, all right. I got in it. I'm gonna get myself up when it's time to.
That's what's up, man. You know, religion really does change your life if you truly believe and love it and do your research and don't let other people influence you too much, man. Try to live a righteous life no matter what you're doing. Religion can be a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. Especially when you're going downhill, because I was about to go backwards. I was like, I'm about to be a hoe again. And my OG was like, I had talked to my OG, like, how do I get married? That's when everything changed. It was just after that. I was about to go back, but then the next day was like, nope, I'm gonna go forward. Yep, I'm gonna go forward. Stop this today.
Yeah, that's that. When you make that decision, everything changes.
Everything changes. Some of us gotta go through real hell before we decide, you know, I think it's time for give a God. I had enough.
Yeah.
It's cool,
But
man.
everything shapes you though. All that shapes you to the person that you are today. So your past shapes you to the man or woman you are today. You can't live on the past. Just gotta live the present and the future. You just gotta move forward. So everything
Everything
shaped me
has
for well, yeah. So everything happens for a reason.
That's
So
right. That's right. Listen, guys. Look, we are at officially at the hour. It's 8:00. Yo, does anyone have
Nikki here.
anything else they want to talk? Just because Nikki, she's doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and Tone, this is a non-pressure type of situation. It's totally volunteer, spouse or not.
Meaning what?
Meaning, leave her alone. If she wanted to say something, she could. Like Nikki already said that she was doing something, so leave her alone. Let her train for work. And I'm grateful just to have her here. You know, hi Nikki, I love you. Glad that you chose this knucklehead, or that he chose you. However it works. You know what I'm saying? Keep him in his place. Yeah. Hey Nikki, since I hear your voice, do you want to say anything, or do you just want to gracefully leave the room?
And I'm a prison training.
She likes when I pick on you. I can tell.
That's why she always does.
All right. Well. Anyway, guys, look. If anyone has anything else they want to speak on religion, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Just say your words. I'll say my last words. Anybody? Nobody? Somebody?
Yeah, I'll say something one more thing. I remember when my faith really got strong was when I remember I was getting my second divorce, and some of y'all know this already, but I was getting my second divorce, and then I remember my daughter and her mom was always fighting and everything. And I remember little things happened from the job, and I remember every time I ate or drank something, it felt like somebody was actually stabbing me in the chest, to the point where I would bend over and start crying. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I went to the doctor. He sent me to a specialist. They put a tube down my throat, didn't find a thing. You know, and that's when I got down and I prayed and I said, Jesus, God, I was like, Jesus and God, I was like, y'all gotta heal me, y'all gotta fix me, or I'm gonna die. I said, tell me what to do, and I'll just do it. Because it was so bad. I would get on my knees to the point to where I wasn't eating or drinking. So I remember God told me, he's like, I need you to volunteer to go to Iraq. And then that's what I volunteered, and I went to Iraq. And I remember my family was all upset, especially my daughter. I said, well, I prayed, and this is what he told me to go, and this is where I'm going. And I remember as soon as I got there, within 2 days, after being in a war zone, all my symptoms went away. Didn't have any more chest pain, nothing. And then I called my daughter up on the third day I was there, and she started arguing with her mom, and then my chest seized up. So that's when I knew it was stress. But if I wouldn't have listened and stayed home because people wanted me not to go, I'd be dead. I already know that. So this time, because there have been other times I didn't listen and things went bad. This time I made sure I listened because I just knew I was going to die if I stayed. And what was going on with me. So when I did that, and he told me to go, and 2 days later, I was just fine. So for me, that there just proves to me that Jesus God is real for me. So there's been other things before that, but when I had lost my faith in coming back, and then I got, good back and everything, but and I was back strong again. But when that happened, I was just worried. And when I did that, and so for me, no one can tell me that, Jesus and God is not real for me. That was my last defining point for me, where I would never have a doubt again. So everybody has their thing, but that was mine when it comes to religion. And then that was it. People were like, "Damn, you had to go to a war zone?" He said, "I said, you never know where he's going to send you or tell you to go. But if you ask and he tells you, go do it. You know, because that's what's going to help you, and that's my thing with that. That's all I got. I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, cool. I'm gonna end it there. Yo, all I can say is thank you for coming. Religion is a very touchy subject. I'm surprised that these many people showed up, but I'm just happy to see all of y'all here. You know, expressing yourselves
Almost forgot.
about faith, yo. You know what I mean? I can tell you this, right? I can tell you this. Religion has saved my life many times. It kept me from putting myself and others in danger many times, many times. I can't even tell you how many. It's just, with this crazy mind of mine. But I could say, so I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. And I'm grateful that you guys came on here to talk about your faith and the things you've been through. You know what I mean? One of the things I like to think about faith when it comes to faith is that, all of us are in the same boat. We were all born on earth. We all had parents that taught us something. And we all had to make a decision. Is this real? Is it not real? Is it something I love? Is it something I don't love? Is it something that I should bother to even put my life through? Is it not? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like since I've been raised in Christianity, that I've been privileged to be raised in Christianity. Like I was lucky to be raised in the faith that I love and believe, because I do actually love and believe it. I don't love and believe the faith I was taught. I love to believe the faith that I learned as an older man. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for the reveal that God's given me over the years, and the man that I am. I ain't saying I'm the best man. Shit, I got plenty of problems. But I'm blessed and I'm happy to be blessed and I'm happy to be alive. I'm here with my fam. I'm here with my boys. You know what I'm saying? And who cares? Who cares about what anybody else thinks? I'm just happy that I got God and my friends in my life, man. That's perfect. You can't get too much more perfect than that. You know what I mean? So everybody, good night. Have a great night. You know what I'm saying? Love you all. Thanks for coming. Hey, wave it out. You know what I'm saying? Love all y'all, man. Peace and love.
Y'all brothers, take it easy.
All right.
You too, man.
Later.
All right, G.